Okay, dear devotees, we'll start now. Thank you.
Krishna कर्मणि कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि कर्मया कर्मणि कर्मया स्वबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु संयुक्तः कृष्ण कर्म कृत् कर्मण्य कर्मया पश्ये कर्मण्य कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि च कर्मया बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु
कर्मण्य कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि च कर्मया बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु संयुक्त कृष्ण कर्म
Here karmani akarma. Two words are here. Karma and akarma. We try to decide. Recite. It's very clear.
कर्मण्य कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि च कर्मयः बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु संयुक्त कृष्ण कर्म कृत्
कर्मणि अकर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि च कर्मयाः कर्मणि च कर्मयाः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु संयुक्त कृष्ण कर्म कृत्
कर्मण्य कर्मया पश्ये कर्मणि च कर्मया स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु संयुक्तः कृष्ण कर्म कृत्
We are just reciting this. Reading and researching should go on together. Reading and researching. Those should go on together. We are sentient beings. So we not only read, but we research. And how to research? Before we start recitation, we should go to the, what do you call that? So it gives you the idea of research. Read the equivalent. Repeat. Karmani
in action.
In action.
Akarma in action.
Action and action.
Separate. If it is separate, it will mean different meaning. In action. In action. Separate.
Yes.
In action. Together is in action.
The opposite.
Unless you read and research, you will not reach anywhere. And preaching means reaching. I am preaching you, I am reaching you. Reach means to reach. You are reaching the living entities.
To who you are preaching.
Yeah, I am reaching you. That's why I told you read and research. And I am giving you the difference. This is the difference in preaching. Unless you reach the hearers, you are failure in preaching. And that's why we may preach, but we don't understand anything. So what is that we preach? When we preach, we should reach. Take out peace and reach is there. And peace means peace, as peace. and it's preaching. In preaching word itself, reaching word is hidden. In reading, research spelling is hidden. So reading is not simple reading. We are not interested. Please, some boys 2 years old, they may simply read. Or they may go on with translations or what. We are not interested. We read and research. And with the help of Prabhupada. Here the importance of Prabhupada is there. Nobody gives the word-to-word equivalence like Prabhupada is given. When he was with us, he was always telling that, please relieve me from all the duty. I have to meditate on each word. And this is he has done. He has meditated for us on each word. Why are we behaving like animals instead of going to word to word? We should go to word.
First go word to word, then we read.
Then you recite. So you have some idea
What's going on?
what we do. Little bit. But
Should we read translation, Maharaj, first?
No,
No.
only word to word. Every word you have to research. And many words may be English also. You'll find so many things. Now in action. How nice. The same spelling. But word together means completely without, and separate means different meaning. This is our research. Can you understand me? In action, we should follow in action. And this we have to elaborate with the help of translation and the purport. This is research. Searching, already it is searched for us by Prabhupada, but we are researching. That is reading. Otherwise, reading merely has no meaning. Many times people say, I read all Bhagavad Gita. Hare. I don't know what you have read, we don't know. Hare, you have retained, we know that. Otherwise, a madman, you have this over. There is useless. It's completely useless. How? तो ऊपर भी चलिए तो तुम्हारे सारे छेद है तो अपने ત્યાં બેસીએ જગ્યા છે ના ऊपर भी चलिए please the thing is merely reading does not take us anywhere. We have to research and read same meaning, same spelling. And then we have to preach. So in preaching, you are reaching the hearers. Without reaching the hearers, if you preach, there is no value. And you understand me, my shouting is no value. It's a waste of my breath and waste of your time. Preaching, if I got free, means you should reach the hearers. That is preaching. And we have to preach anyway. To solidify our knowledge, we have to preach. Our society is Prachar society. Prachar means Achar is there. Achar means behavior. Our behavior must be with the tenets of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. If Achar is not there, people don't believe it. And then you can't read the hearers.
Nothing you can teach others.
Then preaching
You don't follow.
Preaching has no value.
No.
People see you.
Yes.
People don't only hear you. This is the meaning of preaching and reaching. You must reach the hearers. Otherwise, ના આપણે જઈશું ત્યાં જઈએ અહીંયા ભૂખ લાગી ત્યાં જઈએ તો બધા બેસી જઈએ We'll go there. Children are there. English say. અંગ્રેજી સમજે છોકરા છોકરાઓ પણ નહીં સમજે We'll go at least this 7. I will go. No, no. तो नाम से दिख रहा है और किधर नहीं तो अपना अपना क्या दौड़ मारे तो मोटो देखिए अब मोटो ना करो तो नाम से दिख रहा है तेरे पूजा करवाएंगे कैसे माने सारी से हाँ ओ हाँ किनसे सारू से जय जय हमने दिवस मुझे नहीं नाम ले रहे तो नाम से दिख रहा है सरस नाम क्या ढूंढना चाहिए वो मोटो ही है धोती हो गया धोती हो गया धोती हो गया धोती हो गया हमें आना पड़ेगा The thing is, unless we read all right, there won't be any research, as I told you. Mere reading has no value at all. These boys, they don't understand anything. They merely read me. They learn also. They don't understand. But we are all sentient beings. We should really be particular about research. Searching has got to be there. And the whole search has to be put to the test. When we preach, there is our research. जो अपने परीक्षण करिए तो जनता की सामने मुक्ति शिकायत जो अपना मन में कहीं अपना मगज में कहीं ना हुआ तो जनता की सामने शू मुक्ति शिकायत What we can do? We don't have anything in our mind. Everything is filtered out. And what are you going to preach? When you are preaching, you may think that you are preaching, but you are not reaching the hearers. You must reach the hearers. As I told you, only two words we took. Karmane, akarmane, apasya. Karmane means action. He said in action. Separate words are there. In action. And akarma means inaction. Together. How it's completely opposite meaning. In action, we have to see inaction. And this is to be researched. Only two words we have taken from this. And unless our mind is satisfied with the argument, the hearers will never be satisfied. And always while preaching, we should keep hearers in mind. We are preaching for them. And what we have understood, we are elaborating those points, our research points, in front of them. So really, if you are careful in your research and understanding the scriptures, maybe in some language, you may put very clearly to the public. And that is our way. Our society is a preaching society. Who have preached day and night. That's why you people are converted. It went through your necks. And you thought that this is good. That's why you are here. Now the same policy we have to obtain. He researched, and every word he has meditated. He was always when he was with us. He was telling us that please relieve me from other all duties. So I have to meditate on each word. And see how nice words he had. There are only two words we have seen. In English also, how it is clear. that inaction is completely different in meaning than inaction. So how inaction in your action, in your activities, how can you see inaction? That is the subject matter of these words. So then we want to research further. Come on, recite. Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani cha karmaya.
Karmani cha karmaya.
Sabudhiman manusheshu. Yuktaha. Krishna karmakrit. Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani akarmaya pashe.
Karmani karmaya.
Karmani cha karmaya.
Sabudhiman manusheshu.
Sabudhiman manusheshu.
Sayuktaha. Krishna karmakrit. Krishna karmakrit. In other word is Krishna. Read the spelling of Krishna, second name.
Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna. It's not Krishna.
No, it's Krishna.
There is a bit different. Krishna. See the meaning.
It says, although Krishna karma krit, although engaged in all activities.
All actually.
Also engage in all activities.
Yeah,
Although
there is
engaged
engagement in all. Is the meaning of Krishna. Krishna means Supreme Personality of Godhead. Slight difference in pronunciation.
Very well.
Otherwise, we are bound to commit mistake. This is research. The Sanskrit language is very sophisticated language. Bit of it you change and the meaning changes. Krishna, we know, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna again to have elaborate meaning. Krish means repetition of birth and death. 8,400,000 times. This is known as Krish. And now means who stops? Only Krishna can stop our repetition of birth, death, disease and old age. 8,400,000 times. This is Krishna. So you change it to Krishna, and Krishna means all. Very beautiful. These words have got to be researched. Prabhupada gives very nice meanings. And everything is clear. And many times two words are together. It's known as joint. Sandhi in Sanskrit. So you have to separate the sandhis. In equivalence, he has very masterly explained the word separate. So if you don't understand the joined word, go to the what word meaning. So you will be able to separate the words. There are two words made and three words together. So Sandhi we meant to understand. So it's our duty to go to word and try to separate the words and try to understand the meaning. Then we are reading and researching together. You are seeing research. So they are not misled. Unless you come to Prabhupada, you will be misled. Or you may read shlokas of other book, and maybe translation is given without equivalence. Then there is nothing you can understand. Then your pronunciation may be thoroughly wrong, and even then you will have no idea at all. Here you come to Prabhupada, and you become thoroughly enlightened by the real knowledge. This is a specialty of Prabhupada. Who can ignore Prabhupada? And if you don't do this, what is the use of our human form? There is no use. Some rituals we may follow regarding bhakti, but unless you have knowledge that rituals, you will not put full faith in it. To increase the faith, reading with Prabhupada is required, researching with Prabhupada is required. We have to change our behavior, and then you have to reach the hearers. So many things are required before we start preaching. Everybody has a great zeal for preaching, But even preaching, there's a word reaching, they don't know. In order to reach you, I must know in and out. Otherwise, I can't reach you. If I don't understand, I can't explain it to you. And here everything is ready. Only about some time you have to spend to meditate on this. And as soon as you meditate, even English language is also enlivened. Otherwise, as it is English language, it was lecture language. Because of the progress of books, he has completely converted the lecture language to best of the transcendent knowledge. Now these books are standard books. It has enriched the language itself. Krishna's touch is there. If by Krishna's touch, the language, lecture language, can be enriched, how much we will be enriched if we have the knowledge. That's why Krishna
They say even English, Prabhupada English books are better than Hindi and Gujarati.
Yeah, yes. They are written in English. Indian Gujarati they are translated. So there is some mistakes here and there. So you know English, and this way you should research and try to preach. Then, unless you are ready, don't speak a word. Then the best thing you can do is keep Prabhupada's small books with you and tell that these are very helpless. We are suffering from birthday, disease and old age. For that we don't have to understand much. So we are ourselves growing, we are getting old, we are getting sick, we are dying, please know that. So just tell them preliminary, the field is in human life, and just give Prabhupada. And Prabhupada will do the job. He is expert in this. And for us, who are situated in temple, or connected to the temple, half of the day must be spent in these things. Half of the time available. Outside people have to work hard. So then they might be very busy. So chanting has to be finished. Prabhupada was already very clear. There was one brahmachari. So he wrote to Prabhupada once that when I was in brahmachari, I was spending so much time here to read and chant. Now I'm just like I'm different. Prabhupada wrote back to him, you have 24 hours a day. Give me 2 hours. 1 hour you chant, 1 hour around you chant. And 1 hour please read my book. Otherwise you will go away. Mean your faith will be weak. Our faith, in order to strengthen our faith in Vedic culture, this research is required. And preaching and reaching is required. And we want to reach the people. That's why every day we go out with the books on Sankirtan. Why we are going? We want to reach. There is preaching. By seeing you are preaching, your dhoti, your kurta, these boys are all without anything. Where the family is not serious. Otherwise the boys should be taught to put on nice Vedic clothes. They are very easy. But we are completely sold to the Western culture. There is our defect. In sitting Rajkot also, we look to America. We are called expert in these things. Prabhupada wanted this tide to stop and turn back. That is what we have to do. And that's why you are, I have never seen you in trousers. The trouser is your dress.
Yes.
I have never seen you in trousers. This should be. And why you have accepted? This is more convenient. Particularly in temple. You are staying here, getting up early in the morning. It's very comfortable. To put on the Vedic dress. So that they know. But outside in school, they don't get any. All scratches poured into their beds. So at least at home must be something Vedic. This is the thing needed in India. And you are coming here, people are trying to copy you. So go to places and show them how you are behaving. This is preaching, reaching. And always preaching means reaching. Always remember that. This is our research. And this is our really realization. Real thing is, we want to reach. Otherwise, my Prabhu was left Vrindavan. He was quite alright in Vrindavan. He knew everything. But he wanted to reach to the public. So he crossed all the oceans to reach. And therein, after the initial difficulties, he is so successful. In the old age, he is successful. We are all very young. Please go in this direction. And your life will be sublime. Life will be successful. He is very ideal brahmachari. Today I came about 6:30 to the temple room. He was quietly chanting his rounds. That's what I want. Morning should be finished. Rounds must be finished. We should not come here for anybody. But we should be very sincere to the purpose. He sleeps on the floor. Chaguru said, he is coming from Denmark. Denmark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Denmark. And he is very real brahmachari. Amogduru said Nam. Initiate Nam. He sleeps on the floor. He gets at 3:30. He is brahmachari yourself from first. Change his rounds very sincere. Studies literature is very nice. Doesn't speak anything else. છોકરા એટલું બધું લીધું આપણા કલ્ચરમાંથી અને આપણે જુઓ છોકરાઓ કેવા કરી રહ્યા છીએ કે આપણે ખ્યાલ છે આપણે શું કરી રહ્યા છીએ કેમ આપણને સમજ નથી પડતી આ લોકોને વેચી નાખવા જોઈએ શું કરવું ડેનમાર્કની છોકરો એટલું બધું સિન્સિયર આવીને રહે છે અને બિલકુલ બીજી વાત નહીં તો એને ખબર નથી ટેલિવિઝન એને ખબર નથી ભજીયા અને પાપડા એને કઈ ઈચ્છા નહીં થતી હોય he is also a human being. He has controlled all the desires and automatically he has realized that human form is very rare and this is the duty of the parents. Mother father જો છોકરાને ના આપે તો એ મધર ફાધર છોકરાનો દુશ્મન છે they are enemy. પોતે પણ ના લે અને આ લોકોને પણ ના કોણ આપશે આ છોકરા મોટા થશે ત્યારે સમય બહુ ખરાબ આવી રહ્યો છે unless mother and father impart them these teachings. How are they going to work? This is our reaching. We should reach the future generation. If you not reach the future generation as it is, royal edition of animals. They didn't have any idea of what is going on. And they have human form. Fortunately, they are in our family. So this is how to reach them as you have the idea. Please open a school in Denmark. Really, that is the way to reach the future Denmark. Maybe the adults may not come.
The children, they will say. We can't do, but children can.
Children can do. Here you see children in the morning, or Thursday, 75, 80 children. Both are little. Both. It's so pleasing. And there is no punishment, nothing else. We are trying to reach. That is the way of preaching. The word did not catch the old ones. He only caught the young ones. He said older tram horses. They're good for nothing. But old people are also being parents. They should understand their responsibility. કોણ સમસ્યા છોકરાઓને અને આ છોકરાને કોણ તમે ના હો તો આગળ પણ ન હોતી. So many excuses are there. That we are far away, we are this, we are that. Everything we do, but except coming to the temple and worrying about the spiritual life of student. Swamata, Swaguru, Swapita Chapi. Shikshayeche Sabasvarto, Hare Name वगैरह, age माता से, age पिता से, and age guru. So those who teach their children to chant Krishna's names. Daily at least keep small malas. Force them to chant before they go to school. 127 weeks. Only small malas we have. So एक माला अपन ने अभी ने जो वो वेली से बना देता थी, तो अभी चेंज करे, पर कहीं तो इन्हें स्पीच से मापो, कपड़ा तो पहरावे ने, धोतिया पायजामा पहनो, लूज कपड़ा पहराओ, कि कुर्ता पहराओ, सरस नाम से बाल कृष्ण कोई भी साइज था उसे मंजूर, तो जो है कृष्ण इन बड़ोदर में दे, ना reach. And this is the way to reach. And unless we reach, we cannot reach. And when we try to reach, our action is there. I am performing action, but it has no reaction. I am not affected by that. So there is no material gain.
It's not material.
If material gain is not there, then it is inaction. There is the meaning of inaction. So there is inaction has to be understood. So in all our actions, we should behave inactionally. That is the meaning of the inaction. Inaction. We are performing action. Get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Come to Mangalati, and chant and preach. But there is no futile result. So it is inaction. Go together. And this is that verse. That all our activities should not produce anything except the welfare of the society. Nothing else. No other motivation should be there. As soon as your motivation is there, you are a failure in preaching. You just have to reach them to discuss the root of it. Otherwise, we should not approach. This is the way. Prabhupada did that. He did not have anything. Initial difficulties were there. But even then he was successful. His motivation was not there. Material motivation is a degradation. What is the difference between the people outside and us? If we are also many of the material motivation. This is the thing. That is known as inaction. In our all actions, we should show inaction. And that is how we are behaving. These people are helping. These, Sachimata stays in Laguna Beach, near Los Angeles. And they have a nice concept of a member there. Now, whole construction was carried on by them. Nearly $70,000 were given by them. There was no return at all. That was their inaction. They have performed action to construct the whole thing. No material gain was there. So there is inaction. In their action, it was inaction. And inaction always satisfies us that you perform for Krishna. What is it in third chapter? Yadnartha Karmanyantra. Unless you perform the Krishna's activities, it's all bandhan, all bondage. Karma bandhan. Karma kamte mukta samsmart. Therefore, you should only act in that way. Everybody should act. And maybe if you activities we have to do, we have responsibility. We have houses and this to maintain. So Rupa Goswami comes to our help. That we have to give the percentage for Krishna. And that is how these people agree. The percentage is going to develop the Krishna consciousness. But we should really, apart from these things, our own self must be unflinchingly attached to the transcendence. And for that unflinching attachment, we must have a preliminary knowledge And that knowledge is only in Prabhu's books. There is no other book is completely clear knowledge. This is to be honest. And that's why we are not Prabhu fanatics. But there is no other way. No other way. This Vaijanti Mala in Abu Dhabi, she is very clever in this thing. So I told her that the 10th canto and further canto, 11th and 12th, they were not translated. But so the translations are not really up to the mark. So I told her that in Krishna book, the chapters are there. And we were doing praise of Muchukunda. Muchukunda was a great king. And he was always helping demigods. So he praised the Lord. You know that, you must know, not already now. Kali one was the great nature king. And he had invaded Mathura. And Jarasandha was also, was invading. So Krishna did not want to face both of them. So Krishna just walked out of Mathura city. And he was walking. And the Kalavan was running, but even then he couldn't catch him. Krishna was slowly walking. Kalavan couldn't catch him. Then Prabhupada says that the superior spirit of Krishna cannot be caught by physical attacks. We should go to the sincere devotional service. Then only it will be caught. So what happened that Krishna didn't want to kill him himself. So this Muchukand was sleeping in one of the caves in the mountain. What happened that Muchukand, for day and night, for several years, he fought the battle on the side of demigods. Then eventually, after years, he was very tired. Without sleep, he did. So the demigods found out Kartikeya as their commander-in-chief. So then demigod requested him that please, we are very tired now. Please retire, and we are very happy with you. So ask some benediction. So he said that I want one benediction. That I will sleep now. I'm very tired, so I have to sleep for maybe years together. So he went to a cave, and he said, give me the benediction that if anybody wakes me up by my side, he should be burned to death. So Muchukanda was sleeping in one of the caves in the mountain. So Krishna walked in Vrindavan to that mountain. And Krishna entered that cave and disappeared. Muchukanda was sleeping there. This Kalavan entered that cave and he thought that Krishna is very tired, so he is sleeping there. So he kicked him. He got the eyes were completely red, like fire, and looked at it. Kalavan was brought to death. This that is how Krishna behaves. He doesn't do any activity, and even then he's very busy. He has his own ways to sort out our own karmic reactions. And everybody has to suffer or enjoy the karmic reaction. But since we have touched Prabhupada, we have come to this practical conclusion that come what may, I will try to put in practice these principles so that henceforth, knowingly I will not commit any sins. Unknowingly we are committing so many sins. But knowingly I will not do it now. So that to that extent, we will become completely peaceful. This is the purpose of this verse. Please go through it and we will try to think about it tomorrow.
How this relates to us who live outside them. How to do.
You have to do through the activity. So certain time is gone there.
How to make inaction, inaction, action, inaction.
Well, if you do duty, make it in well, you are free. Because you are not keeping material gain in mind. You are loving your duty. Niyat karma, prescribed duties. We should love the prescribed duties. That way you completely are free from the results. No doubt, results are bound to come. They are working for results. But you are not working for results. There is inaction. And your influence will increase. In office, you will be respected. They know that whatever you are, you are very sincere. Sincerity comes from devotion. Whoever goes in there doesn't get anything. But for a whole day, he's busy from people. He's the only one who gets everything. And day in and day out. So far, in so many Kedavas there in Rome. Kedavas staying. How many years? 99. 7 years. Hardly years. I'm not well. Two for that. Hare Hare. I mean to say, he has no material gain. But even then, he is very myriad. Inaction. Example of inaction. And then, Buddha cooking. Buddha dressing very well. Hare Hare. Hare no, I'll ring you after some time. I'll ring you after some time. Hare Bol. Hare Bol. Krishna? We are not receiving the calls. See? You ring them. We're from Nasik. What were you telling? What's your point? No, you were talking about but I will give you one example. When not doing, he is doing everything. His father had bought a land for him in nearby society, nearly 400 yards. That land, तुम्हारी land ની બાજુમાં એની કિંમત અઢી ગણી થઈ ગઈ. 10 લાખનું છે, 25 લાખનું થઈ ગયું. એનું પણ એ રીતે વધી ગયું. No, here. He's from Baroda, he had land here. And without his knowledge, Krishna is given so much. She also donated $75,000 to Panchatattva temple there. Krishna gave her here. She had bought land for 10 lakhs. And it is worth for 25 lakhs. So Krishna doesn't keep. આપણા વજન છે કે બધાને પાછું આપી દે છે. ગતવાળી વ્યાજની સાથે પાછું આપી દે છે. એ કઈ રીતે આદ્ય પ્રભુને આપશે તો કહેવાય નહીં. પણ તમારી પાસે રાખે નહીં. Otherwise they had tremendously donated. This is inaction. Inaction, we don't see the results. We give so much to it. When Sudama went with a piece of rice,
Nothing.
he took one or two morsels and gave so much richness to him. He couldn't believe.
But he never asked.
Never.
He never asked.
But that is inaction.
He never asked.
Never. Not only that, but he went there and Krishna had given new clothes for him to wear there. So when he was going, Krishna said, stop, Sudama. He said, the new clothes are mine. Put on your back. He said, I forgot. Please excuse me. He took out new clothes and put on the rags and went there. But he didn't curse Krishna. कृष्ण ने कोई खर्च ना श्राप ना આપે આ સંપૂર્ણ આટલું બધું તારું છે થોડા કપડા આપી દે
His children and wife were so hungry.
So
They had nothing to eat.
nothing to do.
He never mentioned this to Krishna.
None,
My wife and children are starving.
Nothing at all.
He never said. Never.
He, on that condition he went.
On
He
that
said to his
condition.
wife that I will not beg, I am going.
Yes.
That's our inaction. And inaction has so much result that we don't see. And we don't have patience. The devotees must be very peacefully patient. There's very, what is it? Shantaha, Samadrisya, Shuddha. We are completely equipoised, pure in our attachments, and pure in our thinking. Never bad things come in our mind. Never. That is our way. And that is the quality of inaction. That's why we go from inaction. Otherwise, tell me what business is there. We are since last 10 years in this area. In 10 years, this property is worth 13 crores. आपण 14 કરોડની પ્રોપર્ટી અને દ્વારકામાં is nearly 3 crores. So 17 crore. 10 વર્ષમાં કયો બિઝનેસ એવો છે કે જેમાં 17 કરોડ રૂપિયા?
10 years.
અને we are not working. No, we are not working.
No salary. No.
And everything is going on. Lakhs of rupees are spent. And nobody else is worried. It's like a ladu bit. કઈ ચિંતા કરતો નથી તું ચિંતા નહીં કરતો તો પછી અહીંયા અમને ચિંતા કરવી પડે. So nice. I mean to say, all the devotees who are staying, they are not worried. We are staying here. We are not running after you. Nothing at all. The thing is that we are not patient. That's why we can't reach the hearers. If we reach the hearers, then our success is there. But who has reached you, you people? Otherwise you are from completely alien culture. You are born in liquor and whatnot. You are completely stopped. His mercy and His penance towards Syria. And there is it's our duty now to pick ourselves, and it is your duty now again to give this to younger generation in your country. And that is in action. And it will pay you so much if you try to give this to younger generation. This is the point. Have you anything to ask? Still we can go on. We'll again go to this verse tomorrow. Always remember, read and research, preach and reach. Without reaching, don't preach. The thing is, he has developed nice points regarding reading and researching and preaching and reaching. That's very nice. So yesterday we did it in the evening. So please remember always, whatever you read, you should not be only for reading. You should have notebook, your notebook like this, and research it. Try to study. the more you study, the more you will be ready for preaching. And then our way is that always we don't only see to the pastimes, but at the same time we try to derive some practical instructions so that the hearers can get something. Now, take Putna's story. What will you tell after the story to the hearers? They know the story. So how should they behave after knowing that story? Tell me. Hare, no speaking. Sit down. Come on, tell me. No, Putna. Putna's story. Putna.
What is the practical application?
Yeah.
From the Putna.
Yeah. Suppose we narrate that incident, pastimes of Krishna. So how you will instruct the hearers? Hare, stop speaking. No speaking. Keep quiet. Sit down. Sit down.
Maharaj treated her as his mother.
Huh?
Krishna accepted her as his mother. Prabhupada said.
But what do you instruct to the hearers?
Yes, we used to say once material accounts that if we do something, somebody does something to us, if we fight back, if we retaliate, so that no retaliation is the best retaliation.
That's right.
Somebody comes to us, wants some damage, if we do back, that increases our material account.
Now, retaliation is our natural tendency. Somebody hits me, I want to hit you. Now, how to stop that mentality? No, don't speak, keep quiet. Sit down. How to explain to them? You are telling correct. This point is very nice. That no retaliation is the best retaliation. But how to convince their mind? The hearer's mind must be convinced. You are correct. But whatever you tell, it should be convincing. Why not to retaliate?
How is related this to this story, Putana's story?
No, because Krishna did not retaliate. Krishna otherwise killed her, would have killed her. But he didn't do it. Instead, he gave her the mother's status, his kindness. But now, we condition living today. How to stop the retaliation? How will you convince the reader? Here, that verse we should remember from Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanamte jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudham. Whether we believe or not, Vasudeva Sarvam, everywhere Krishna is situated. So those who are troubling us, in them also Krishna is situated. So if Krishna troubles, what to retaliate? Whom to retaliate? Because I am thinking that he is Murli, that's why I want to retaliate. It's a separatism. Subtle separatism is there. That's why retaliation tendency is there. This, we have to overcome this separatism, and you will achieve the marvelous results if you really follow this. This is very difficult. And this is only one point from the Putna story. But this is how you should go to the root, and this is called the research. So only reading will not do. The research has got to be there. This is what. And unless you follow this path, the hearers are not interested. And that's why...
Was it the Savasacham really selling his story?
That's also, yes.
Bhavana.
Yeah, that we should understand, isn't it? We know that in everybody's heart he is situated. Then why can't we behave as if Krishna is situated?
That's tricky.
This is,
That's the higher will, so that's the
Yeah.
Paramatma actually.
Paramatma, yeah. So, no, we have that realization. But we have to translate it into the hearer's language, how they understand. And just tell them that Matha Pratham Nannat Kichidasti Dhanandya. Apart from me, nothing exists on this planet or anywhere. So everywhere Krishna is there. And we definitely believe that even the leaf of the tree doesn't move without his permission. So without his permission, somebody is going to trouble us. Somebody is already troubling. So without his permission, he or she will not trouble. So that way we excuse her or him. And then they come down. In Bhagavatam also, 7:15-22 words, it gives you the remedy for threefold miseries. And in this, when other living entities trouble us, is known as Adhibhotik Dukh. So Kurpaya is the answer there. You be merciful to them. And all along, Prabhupada was very much merciful to the Western devotees particularly. So that's why today the Krishna is established. This is the practical example is in Prabhupada. Unless the tolerance was there, how can we do it? And always the good sense of the hearers must be instigated. We should try to touch their good sense. And as soon as the sense are good, we touch the good sense, they understand themselves. If Krishna is situated in everybody's heart, so why can't they understand? But our way is to instigate that sense. They don't have knowledge that they have Krishna with them. Without any scriptures, without any knowledge, some population behaves very good. From where the good is coming? Good is the monopoly of Krishna. Where there is some good point is there, Krishna is there. And that's why good doesn't belong to any sect. Good is not Christian good. Good is not Hindu good. Good is not Muslim good. Good doesn't have anything to do with the faith. Good is always good. It's transcendental like Krishna. Because it is coming from Krishna.
This Harama Bhakta, this verse, the one who is not devotee cannot have any good quality.
No, yeah.
Misunderstand that. If you don't have devotee tilak, and if you don't chant Hare Krishna, there can be no good qualities. But,
no, but that we can explain to them. That without dhoti tilak also, there can be good quality. No doubt, dhoti tilak is in addition. Yeah, because we are reminded continuously that we have to be good. But without these things also, there is good population. And with all due respect to Indians all around the world, I always insist one point, that Western world, they're all meat eating or drinking or whatever. But even then, one best quality they have, and there is Vaishnava quality. That while working, they will really sincerely work. We are shortcuts, they are workers. So please remember this. From where that quality has come. And in Malaysia, there are 2 islands To join the islands, there are 24 miles wide sea, and they have constructed the bridge in which only six miles of bridge, 3 miles this side and 3 miles that side. They have the pillars. In between, whole bridge is hanging. Who can build it? Some Japanese company has built it, but they must have some tinge of Krishna Shakti. Otherwise, they can't do it. It's wonder. 24 miles bridge and 18 miles of hanging. Without pillar, big steamers can go underneath. This is the point. Why can't we keep our eyes open? You are moving around the world. Keep your eyes open and find out Krishna. Why we are wandering about like a mad person? Our eyes should be anointed to see Krishna everywhere. And finally, there are so many wonderful things. And in one small seed of banyan tree, the whole banyan tree is squeezed. Who can do it? Except Krishna. Who can do it? And this is how everywhere, if we habituate ourselves to see Krishna, then there is no retaliation. This point you should explain. Only telling them don't retaliate. They will rebel. I must retaliate. He is eating my wife. When Christ's example is best, they were nailing him on the cross. And he was praying, "Hey God, they don't know what they are doing. Please excuse them." The best tolerance. Excellent tolerance. Who can do it? I will also shout at them if they nail me. With all the provision. I mean to say, to speak is one thing, to put into practice is completely a different thing. So we should try our best. And this is how we should derive the practical instructions from any pastime. And then try to put those pastimes in front of the hearers. Then they will be interested, otherwise they are not interested. We should stop here now. Jai Prabhupada ki. We'll continue. Today I'm sorry. We have to look to these big dignitaries.
Small demons. Little demons.
Yes. Demon in a bed. But they're lucky to come to Krishna.
It was short but very sweet.
Huh?
So the lecture was very short and sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So as I've said in the past, we don't have some big facility of recording at that time, In fact, devotees would just put a microphone and then, and just recording it, and then it would stay for so many years. It stayed. I have many lectures like this, and then it was in the in the temple room with people coming and going, and also there are school kids coming in. So if you remember, I remember this way: morning class, Bhagavatam class is when the school starts. So all small children would come. So all the parents would come and drop them to the school. So they all would go and meet Maharaj first. So they would Maharaj giving class like this, and all the kids will come, and Maharaj would tell them, come, what is your name? In Gujarati, if they speak in Gujarati, say in Gujarati, Okay. Moto થઈ ગયો છે. Seven standards, you say. Oh, you become big now. Very good, very good. And then talk to the parents a little bit, There's bhakti going on. Very nice. And they would all go and then go pay obeisances to Krishna, and then they would sit down quietly there, Then the teachers would come, teachers make them quiet. This is how the process is going on. So if you don't know, you may think it's a bit chaotic. In the audio, you don't understand this, But this is how we've seen it happening exactly. So it is very, very nice. And I must tell you one thing. All those children, we've seen the videos. It's there uploaded also in our YouTube channel. They look very effulgent kids, very nice children with Mahārāja and all. And I had spectacles. And I saw the deities in Mahārāja and I stopped wearing spectacles. Since then, I'm not wearing it. So far, it is gone at my age. They tested it last year. It had gone. It will come again. It is, but that's how it is. But I've not worn for I don't know how many years now. Maybe 2005, 2006. So probably 2004 or 7 onwards. Since then, I've not worn spectacles. I've kept it away. I said, I'm not going to wear it. So the deities, so Guru Maharaj, and that's how it was. So many different things going on, very dynamic. And that's why I said, please excuse us. The audio may not be very wobbly at times and coming and going. And it is not nowadays 5-star facilities, which big people have got all this recording, multi-recording and digitalized, It was just nothing. But they're doing their best. And somehow we have got this. And hopefully future generations will listen to this. So was it legible though? Most part, was it legible to all of you? Yes? You just speak something, don't nod. I can't see you nodding.
Yes, Swami. Most of it was clear, bro. Thank you, Swami.
Okay, that's very nice. Very nice. Okay, very nice. Very nice. So now, who would like to share their realization? Just before that, I had asked one question, isn't it, to everybody? I had asked one point to remind me.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you had to discuss about the Pishama story.
Yes, okay. So all of you have made your nice points. Before we do that, I wanted to ask you one question. So I shared this post about Pishima, sister of Srila Prabhupada, her disappearance. Very nice, wasn't it? Now tell me one thing. How many of you shared it onwards, forwarded this message? None of you shared any forward?
Prabhuji, we had a discussion.
Yes.
Because I thought, because it was only shared in the intermediate class,
Yes.
I thought it's not for everyone. So even Mayuresh
Very
asked me, I
good.
said,
Very
Mayuresh
good.
asked,
Very good. Yes, excellent. Excellent. Yes. Continue.
And even Mayuresh called me later on and he said he want to forward. I said don't, because I think Amrish wanted it to share it. It should be in beginner's class.
Very good. Excellent point. Yes. This is the point. This is to be understood. You see that we will be doing. We think about where to share, what message to go, what not to go. I've got so many messages already lined up. We're waiting for certain events to happen that you can share. Whom to share, what levels to share, what not to share. So if we share to others, then we are doing disservice to our own beginners program devotees or general group devotees. What wrong have they done? Nothing. But you can discuss it. Discussing is fine. Verbally you can speak, it is perfect, all right. So I want all of you to understand this point very much. Otherwise it's a disservice to others, our own team members. So we try our level best with all my insincerities to think that where will it suit very well, who will understand this better, who will appreciate this better, who will not appreciate it better, and then we share it. You may save the post for your reference in the future when you have your teams and when you want to share with your team's intermediate level. That is fine, but not unless and until you've got the training properly. Is this okay? So this is very nice. Sridhar Prabhu, that is very good. I'm very happy about this point. You understood it very well. This is correct.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji, for your training. Even actually, I thought, Prabhuji, because even I thought I should share, but again, I thought, people will not understand. Some will minimize it, just reading. Because even Mayuresh was asking, I said, because even for like people who don't know much about Krishna consciousness, they might not actually believe it. So,
Yeah. That's fine. That's perfectly all right. That's good. So we can discuss it. I'm open. You can discuss this, Sunny. Whatever the stories are, you can speak in your class and all. That's fine. But don't forward it like this. Okay. All right. Great stuff. So this is about Pishima. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Now we're very eager. Any points which you have made, highlighted on this about the discussion today by Guru Maharaj, so that our mood sets off from this week. The whole week we are in bliss of Maharaj. It should resonate in our head, in our mind. Who would like to share? Please go ahead. Thank you. Hare Krishna. For me personally, I could see that there are so many, the quotes which we share were from this lecture. Don't be shirker, be worker. And for our own self, we are completely attached to transcendence. And the transcendence is available only in Srila Prabhupada's books. There are two quotes we could pick up, from this. So whoever has made those quotes will listen to the lecture very nicely and written down. And we try to follow those where to get the word to word. I would not take away the thunder. Let everybody also share your points and realizations. Please. These are my points. Please feel free to share yours. Hare Krishna. We're very much eager to hear.
Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you very much for showing this class. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purnabhadra Devi Dashi Mataji, and thank you, Krishna Samarpan Krishna Das, for training us and showing this very wonderful class by Maharaj. And there are so many points. So many points is realized actually, but one point what I stand out is that no retaliation, because Maharaj has given an example that people, they like materialist people, when somebody does something wrong, then they go to action, or give the same reply. And he has given the very nice example of Putana. That's really very. I didn't realize that one, but yes, Krishna could have killed her, but he has not done that. And also Maharaj has mentioned further. Explained that if you see Krishna everywhere, then there is no retaliation. We won't do that. We should know that Krishna is everywhere. That's why Maharaj said that you should keep your eyes open, see what is happening. Normally we just read and just think, but if you really see in outer world, like he has given an example about the bridge, how long that, who can do that one? Even though the man made, but still there was a Krishna's mercy. So many examples and also that Maharaj has given about the preach and reaching. That was also really very nice example Maharaj has given when thought and the knowledge for everyone, that if you want to really teach, then you must reach to the hearer. So these are the really standard for me. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So the no retaliation is the best retaliation, as Maharaj would say.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean you don't understand things. You understand it, but try and see Krishna's hand in everything and move on from there. But at the same time, people should not take you for granted. That's another point, which again will be coming over a period of time. This is one part. The second part is that, So that's very nice. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Sri Amrish Prabhuji, for sharing this wonderful lecture of Maharaj. Thank you, Purna Padma Mataji and Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu. And thank you, Sopan Prabhuji, for your realization. So there were many points I noted down from the lecture of Maharaj you shared now. And first of all, Maharaj were used to repeat the verse again and again, so we all can remember it. So even I could remember most of the verse if there was repetition of verse so many times. We just read it and skip it. But Maharaj is focusing on researching it, or Maharaj was saying that reading and researching, we should not only read, we should research. So we should be researching on what is written there. And the point that Maharaj said about preaching, that preaching means you reaching the jivas, Maharaj was saying. And each word is there in preach. So there were many words, like before we have also learned about the Pepsi and other synonyms Maharaj used to give, so that we can remember it easily. Like we were discussing yesterday in Avinash Prabhu's class about how we forget things very easily. Prabhupada writes in the book, we forget things easily. But that's how Maharaj gives us so many synonyms and so many tricks so that we can remember. Like preaching is called prachar in Hindi. And in prachar, there is achar. Achar means how we behave, our acharan. So these are some of the points I could remember. And like Maharaj were telling that no retaliation is the best retaliation. But we have to convince this to the mind. So some devotee was saying this point, but Maharaj was saying that we have to convince this point to the mind. So when we know that Maharaj referred to the verse Bhavanam Janma Namante, whether we believe it or not, we should know Vasudev is everywhere. And Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. So how can we trouble Krishna? And Maharaj was giving example how he could see Krishna in like every place. He used to give example that all the Western world is all about drinking and all the habits, but the one good thing that they work very sincerely. So how did they get this quality? And another example about the bridge that was constructed, and some Japanese company constructed the bridge. So how they got this quality and mind to construct that bridge, and how that one seed of banyan tree can transform into a whole banyan tree. So we have to see Krishna everywhere. Maharaj gave the example of Matta Parataram Nanya, that Krishna is everywhere. And wherever there is some good, Krishna is there. Because Maharaj was saying that good is not Hindu, good is not Christian, good is transcendental. And wherever there is good, there is Krishna. So our eyes should be anointed to see Krishna everywhere. So these were some of the points. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing this wonderful lecture of Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, very nice. Hare Krishna. So my question to you is this now. If something wrong happens to you, what should you do? To all of you. Because many of you will say this point, all of you will say this point. So this point has to be clearly understood. So what should we do? Jesus Christ said the same thing. You give one cheek, get another one. If somebody slaps on one cheek, get another one cheek. So tell me, what would you do? See, I'll tell you, there is a nice pastime. Okay, listen to this pastime very carefully. So once Narad Muni are the biggest preacher in the whole universe. Okay? Narad Muni preaches around in different planetary systems, different planets, planetary systems, wherever he goes, he preaches. He's got disciples everywhere by instructions. So what happened that there was one snake, So one snake was a very ferocious snake. It would bite everybody, So all the village people and the city people were very afraid of this snake. So they called Narad Muni, helped, please help. Now when he passing by, Narad Muni then told the snake, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing because I want to, he said, by biting, my food and all is there. He said, okay, what if we solve the problem of your food? Will you still bite? He said, no. I said, okay, fine then. So he went and he told the snake, give him some food, not a snake. He'll not bite you. So the snake ate nice food, became nice fat, stopped biting everybody, yeah. So Narad Muni said, this is very nice, and he left. So Narad Muni went around. After some time, they're moving back to the same area. He was flying back, Narad Muni was flying back to the same area. And he thought, okay, let me meet my disciple, the snake, It's somewhere here, must be there. So he looked at the snake, and the snake he saw was in a completely deteriorated condition, The snake was completely butchered, alive, barely alive. So, and he saw that small children from the village were hitting the stick on the snake, and hitting with the bricks and stones, and the snake could barely come out from the hole. Would come out was very, distraught, fractured, all gone. So Narad Muni stopped everything, and asked the snake, "Say, what happened to you?" He said, "What do I do, Narad Muni Maharaj?" I said, "You instructed me not to bite anybody. So now the whole world knows I don't bite. Everybody is now beating me up. Now my life is a misery. Even small kids come and beat me up. This is a predicament, right? Same position our position. If they know this guy is not going to bite, what are you going to do? So let's give him 2 slaps or fleece him with money and cheat him. So the Brahman explained to him, no, you can't bite, but you can show your teeth. You can show your teeth or not. Now this is an art. You try and mess with me, and you see my teeth, and you will go in hospital seeing my teeth. Now, whether I bite you or not, don't think I'll not bite you. I'll bite you also if I feel like that. But seeing the teeth, you'll go into hospital. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that you've got, right? If you've got bodybuilding, your strength, or even if you don't have any strength, you can do something at least without just keeping quiet. Yeah? Your eyes are there, your nose is there, your tongue is there, your ferocious part is there, whatever is there, something is there you can do to protect yourself. So this point has to be understood. We may not necessarily bite people, but we can scare them, scare the life out of them. The next time they think twice. I'll tell you one example of it. You will still not understand this. You understand this point? Or if you understand this point? No, you don't. I'll give another example. Many moons ago, when I was in New Zealand here, I had a client, he's an Indian person. So we met him, we got to know each other very well. He's quite senior to me. So he told me his story as a school child. He was a school child, I was pretty notorious, he would say, And he told a story. So what happened is this, I came to a new school as a schoolboy, and the people who were bullying him, the bullies in the class, new school, new class, so they'd bully him, They would come and disturb his food, and, he would disturb him and, push him and shove him and antagonize him all the time, So he saw this. Next time he said, okay, fine. Next day he came, he said, Ambrish, this is what I did, I took a big knife and opened the knife. I took the knife and I banged it on the table. The knife was there on the table in front of me, a wooden table, right? And I was sitting in the table, opening my book and reading. So nobody came. Since then, nobody messed with me. So he did not use a knife to kill anybody, right? What he did, he put up and said, next will come to you. I'm a very strong-headed person. Don't worry about me. So the person may be Hercules, but if he says you are a bit wobbly, you can be, you can do anything, then they'll think twice before hitting you, before approaching you. So that approach you have got, that right you have got, this is the point. We may not necessarily use a knife, but we keep it. Like I think Sita Prabhu has got, you had a sickle in your car. You and Murray showed me a sickle in the car. That's not to kill anybody, but somebody comes with bullying, road rage, you show a sickle, he says, I'll beat me up, That's it. I used to have something else in my car, so that's how it is. But we don't do all those things, but it's just okay. You understand his point? There's no retaliation. We don't retaliate at anybody, but we can protect ourselves. This is how, don't be foolish. So I always say, honesty doesn't mean foolishness. If you are cheated because of honesty, I will give you 2 tight slaps. If you tell me about Prabhuji, you told me to be honest and I got cheated, I will give you 2 tight slaps. I've never taught you to be foolish. I taught you to be honest. That doesn't mean foolishness. You have to be shrewd also. Get your work done. Understand politics. We may not play politics, but we should know. If one step has happened here, so what, second step, third step, what is going to happen, you should know and act accordingly. Even if it doesn't happen, don't worry. You act accordingly now and think about it later on. Okay, is this point clear? Thank you very much. So, yeah, I'm not saying you should carry knife and all those things. I'm not saying all those things. Don't do all these things. But as an example of it, okay? This is show our teeth. We show our teeth. Okay. And sometimes beat also. If it's not going to work, give them 2 right slap and you think about it later on. And then get beaten up again after that. Doesn't matter. But you beat, no? At least give 1. You may get 10 back. At least 1 should be given. 1 give very big nicely. You should remember 1 gave me so much hard. 1 gave. He took 10, but he gave me 1. So remember that. I have no problem about this. But don't fight. We are not interested in fighting with anybody. We don't interfere in somebody's life. We don't allow others to interfere in our lives. It's very important. It's a policy. And there are many people who will unnecessarily come and disturb your life. They are only interested in your life. They'll come and disturb. They come and poke. They say, you know this, you know that, why this, why that? What is your business? Look at them, that cold stare in the face. And the stare should be there. It should be cold stare. Fire should come from the stare. Yeah, they should remember that stare. 1 stare has come there. So next time should not happen. They should remember that stare. With 1 stare, all words should be spoken. This is how it is. Simple. Okay? All done? Thank you very much. So please don't carry knives. Don't fight with anybody. Anybody want to say anything on this point before we can continue, please? Any clarification? Okay, wonderful. Please continue. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Amresh Prabhu and Punavagya Mataji and Krishna Samapan Krishna Das Prabhu for arranging this class. And thank you so much for the devotees for sharing their nice realizations. Some of the points that I remember from the class, firstly, the emphasis on how the preaching contains the word reaching. So it is pointless to preach if it's not reaching to the audience. And Maharaj also emphasized a lot on reading and researching, which was the topic, which is the entire heart of the discussion. And he was talking about this point that karmani means in action and akarmani means inaction. Just these 2 words, which are in English, they spell exactly the same, but the meaning completely changes. And this is the researching, that you have to stay with the word-to-word translation for some time and meditate on it before you move to the translation. And I was thinking about how we did that same thing with the verse that we were discussing the week before, and how we did this with the unwanted orders of the lusted desires class, the entire class. It was about this only. So I could very much relate to that point. And the same thing he did with Krishna and Krishna, that even these 2 words, again, they sound similar, but the pronunciation is very different. And how words need to be broken down and understood in that way. And that's researching. And again, this point came regarding that we should, that in 24 hours, we should chant 2 hours and then we should read 2 hours, which includes reading as well as researching. And the same point we've discussed a lot of times in the class, And he said that if you don't do this, then your faith will be very weak, that you will not be able to last in bhakti. And this also point that Amrish Prabhu discussed before the class started, that because in these activities there is no material gain, so we should not, as soon as the motive comes, these activities lose their essence. I mean, preaching, as soon as there is motive, it is not preaching anymore. And Mangla Arati, it is also in action because there is no fruitive gain from there. So that is how it's in action and action and action and action. And lastly, of course, this point that Pradyuman Prabhu and other devotees also have spoken regarding the no retaliation point, that even a leaf cannot move without Krishna's will. So if there is any harm that is befalling us, it has to be happening through Krishna's will. So at least by that we can, yes, of course, that we have to take the necessary action and we don't have to be fooled, but at least we don't have to be unnecessarily feeling victimized. That is what I understood. And the point regarding sincerity and how we have to be, how devotees are always peacefully patient. And he also said this, that if you're not peaceful, then through your preaching, the hearers will not be also peaceful. So you have to be very peaceful first, which I find for myself right now. I feel that there is a lot of peacefulness that I receive from this program because of the way that the seniors here are conducting their classes and conducting themselves as well. And of course, that point regarding prachar and achar and how this is the society which is very heavy on preaching, which means prachar in Hindi, and prachar contains the word achar, which means that it has to be displayed through our behavior. These are some of the points. I must have missed some also because I was not able to, there was some problem with my audio. I was not quite able to hear some of the words, but yeah, this is all I could understand. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, very nice, very intelligent. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, I couldn't turn on my camera as I am outside, Prabhu. I'm still in the fields.
That's okay, you mentioned it. That's fine. Perfectly
Yeah.
all right. Please continue.
So some of the points I picked up about picked from this lecture is, Prabhu, how Mahārāja has said about prachar. There is a achar in the prachar. So before we give any instruction or preach about Krishna, first we have to follow those instructions. So first, achar has to be there before prachar. So you have to be very qualified and have to be very pure about your intentions and your motivations. Then you can do your prachar. And one more thing I picked up, Prabhu, is that when you are researching and reading the scriptures, one has to be very attentive to the meanings and the pronunciation of the words. I think the Sheetal Prabhu has gave one example on the Marathi class on the Saturday, Prabhu, that stuck with me. That there is this Tukaram Maharaj's. I think I'm not sure about. It was written by Tukaram Maharaj, but it goes like this, Prabhu. पंढरे चाल पाऊले चालती पंढरीची वाट सुखी संसाराची सोडून या गाठ सुखी संसाराची सोडून या गाठ. So Prabhu, what it means, like Warkaris are going to the Pandharpur, so they are they are taking the step and they are leaving behind their samsar, their material life. So the important word was, Prabhu, sukhi samsar, Prabhu. So happy material life. So that was the point, Prabhu. So there is a very huge philosophy behind those only 2 lines, Prabhu. So we have to be very, very careful about, like reading and understanding what they are trying to convey by even Maharaji or Srila Prabhupada. So we should not take their words very lightly, Prabhu. As you have said many times, even Maharaji's words and Srila Prabhupada's words, we should weigh them very carefully, Prabhu. Every little small words can mean the whole world, Prabhu. Yeah. So that's the good.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
very nice, very nice. That's right. Sukhi samsara chi. Not that they are frustrated and they are leaving their homes to come to Krishna. They are very happy in their homes, but still they are leaving their homes to come to Krishna. Very nice. This is best. Hare Krishna. Vitthal Pandurang Bhagavan ki jai. Hare Krishna. I just saw the photograph, the darshan today only, Just in the class I saw the darshan. Vitthal, Rukmini Vitthal Bhagavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhu, Hare Grace Punyamataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for actually showing this Maharaja's lecture, which is very nectarian, and actually giving us opportunity to understand and share our realization. Yeah, it was a bit hard for me to actually understand some part of the lecture, Prabhuji. I tried to listen very carefully, but I missed some of the points. But most of actually I understood the gist, and actually the Maharaj focused on those points. So the first one, yeah, there's a lot of focus, on Bhagavad Gita, actually chapter 4, chapter 4, verse 18. So I actually remembered, actually how Ambrish Prabhu also taught us to study the verses when we start studying actually Bhagavad Gita. Even before that, actually go to word to synonyms, do not jump to the translation and try to understand. So yeah, that was the same. Actually, I saw how Maharaj was teaching, So, and Maharaj says that Prabhupada is only one who has given word to words translations, as it is, so we can actually understand ourselves that actually what is that verse means. So I also remember that that's we can actually verify, actually what has been given in Sanskrit is actually the translation, is saying the similar meaning. And I also remembered actually once Srila Prabhupada also said that don't try to actually derive the meaning out of my translation or purport, my word is the meaning. So that actually, when I heard that instruction, then I said, yeah, we have to be very careful, we don't try to actually concoct, try to actually understand what actually is actually said in the purport or translation. So as everyone shared, preaching means reaching. So actually, I heard this actually instruction first time from Guru Maharaj. So actually, when we preach, you have to also reach the actually hearer, the actually audience that we're preaching. So I was actually thinking on this point that actually is very important instruction, because while actually thinking about it, what I realize is that that when you actually preach, you have to reach. Means actually, first thing is that the object of the preaching is to actually preaching to those actually hearers or people. We should not preach for our own actually motives, or glorify ourselves. So probably one has to preach according to the needs of the actually who's listening. So I have seen that, because sometimes we hear to a lot of people, but they're not very much tailored to everyone's needs. But our actually programs has that actually divisions like beginners, intermediate, and leaders as well. So that is actually what I actually understood what that mean as well. And also Maharaj was explaining the meaning, one who sees inaction in action and action in the inaction. And he very nicely explained, when you preach or when you chant or do devotional service, there is action, you are acting, but there is no reaction, so that is actually there is inaction, so there is a inaction in actions. So Maharaj was saying that by actually we have to perform all activities in relation to Krishna. So there is no any pretty activities, no pretty grains. Otherwise, you have to again either suffer or enjoy. So actually, I think it was also discussed, when we studied this verse, that actually our activities, should be always in relation to Krishna. So we should not actually get any pretty results. And Maharaj also mentioned, actually, he also actually mentioned one point where he says that sincerity comes from a devotion. I was also, I heard that, and actually, yeah, it is quite interesting point as well. So unless you are devoted, actually the sincerity probably is very linked to that as well. So for one who is actually sincere, that means also he's quite devoted as well, or he's very much interested to understand what devotional service means. So those are the actually point I understand. And another, as everyone also shared, that Guru Maharaj said that if there is anything good in anyone, that is coming from Krishna, so any good qualities. So there's origin in Krishna, they manifest from the Krishna. So yeah, we actually studied that in Bhagavad Gita as well, any ability in man. So that is Krishna, So yeah, I thought about that because there are many actually people who are non-devotees, the karmi people. They will eat and drink, nonsensical things, but there are actually good qualities in them as well. As Guru Maharaj has said that the actually Western civilization, so many people, when they're not following all these instructions, but they are very sincere workers. So I see that as also in New Zealand as well. Some people are very dedicated to their jobs or business they do. So that quality of actually dedication is also coming from Krishna, which is very interesting. Because sometimes actually we fail to actually understand that actually if somebody is non-devotee, so there are also good qualities. So it's very actually interesting point that Maharaj actually highlighted. Yeah, last one actually what Mayuresh shared actually, there is a funny actually when I heard that instruction, when I heard that bhajan, so I remember the Guru Maharaj's instruction from that book, Prabhuji, where he said that when I took sannyas, my plate was full. So actually that realization came to me very in a later stage, because when I heard first time, I heard it wrong. Because I was listening, because I heard like, Paule Chalati Pandarichi Vata, Dukhi Samsarichi Sodini Agat. That's how I heard. And I thought, oh, actually, so many people are, they're actually unhappy. Though actually only remedy is to go back to, Lord Vitthal. That's how I heard first time. And later when I heard, then I said, I made a mistake. It says Sukhi Samsarichi Sodini Agat, Then I actually remembered, what Maharaj has said. My plate was full. I did not took sannyas because I was frustrated with the material life. So that was a very important instruction. So we should not actually take sannyas out of frustration because we're not doing very well in our actually material life. So that was also. Thank you, Mayuresh, for actually reminding me. But it was a good realization as well. Yes, Prabhuji. So those are the actually point I understood. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, very nice. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. This point again, about Maharaj's plate. I can tell you one thing, that I'm in touch with, by mercy of Guru Maharaj's family members, son and brothers and all. They're very, very good, very, very well off also materially. They love Maharaj. Nothing like that. Even now also, still today. So Maharaj was absolutely, when Maharaj was saying that my plate was full, thali was nicely arranged, house was fully packed, family, children, grandchildren, all this, and then I took sannyas. Another frustrated. I see so many others who are big, personalities. Because the children are with them, again from them, there's a fighting going on, and also they left and went away. That's also all right. People become devotee that way also. If you have something and leave is a very big thing, and that's what we can see. And this means a lot. I'm trying to find words. Based on this point that Maharaj is plate was full and Maharaj took sannyas. So many further instructions have been given to us based on this as a foundation, which as and when if Guru Maharaj desires, I may remember, recollect, Maharaj allows me to speak in one once, then I'll share with other leaders, how did it implement, what happened, what are the instructions to us with it, how to deal life. And how to live life. Live with that point. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Bol. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful lecture. And Hare Krishna, Shital Prabhu, and all the other devotees for their wonderful realization. From the class, I have noted down few points, and I would like to share. Like when Maharaj wrote the slok, he translated, he broke down a word and translated. Krish means repetition of birth and death, and Na means to stop. So only he can stop the repetition of birth and death. This is how we should read and research, Maharaj says. And like I was wondering on that, like Maharaj also mentioned after that, unless you have knowledge, you cannot have faith. For the faith, you must have knowledge. And for knowledge, you must do research. So then Maharaj pondered on the point that in order to preach, I must reach out to someone. And for reaching, I must know things fully in and out, black and white. And for that, researching comes very important. So like I was thinking on this very much. And after that, like Maharaj said, if your preaching reaches somewhere parcel and give this knowledge to younger generation, the more we study, the more we are ready to preach. So Maharaj said things like we study pastimes and wonderful stories. So it's our duty to study those stories and derive something meaningful for the hearer's practical thing from that. We should translate that story so that the hearer can understand in his language and implement the things. To convince the hearer's mind is what is important. And I felt the same thing, like when Avinash Prabhu teaches us in his class, some new devotees join, ask many questions. Prabhuji appreciate them. Oh, very good. You must not surrender your intelligence. You must ask questions. You must research on that. What we are saying, you must research on that. Then surrender your intelligence. You must not directly surrender your intelligence into anyone. Similarly, Prabhuji, today you told that we must research and then surrender our intelligence. And once we have surrendered our intelligence, we must have full faith. So if Maharaj teaches us, this is not sun, this is moon, we'll preach, this is moon. So that point I like very much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very nice. You're becoming very serious now. I'm very happy to see that. All the best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for conducting such a wonderful classes, and other devotees for sharing their realizations. There were plenty of points I have noted down. There were many good points. Each and every word of Maharaj was like a straight line. I have to research about it, as he said. I would like to share some points of them. The first point the Maharaj started with, reading and researching are same. You have to research every word by word. as he also emphasized that Krishna and other Krishna which has T in it are different. A syllable can make a changes in the word meaning in Sanskrit. So you have to like research on word to word and then go on researching, then reading translations of Prabhupada and then purport, and then go on preaching. And even he emphasized on preaching as preaching has reaching in it. So if it doesn't reach the ears of the listeners, the hearers, it doesn't mean anything. Then okay, so he also emphasized the same way in a prachar and achar, that achar should be, the behavior should be the most important one, and achar can only be solidified by perfect knowledge of scriptures. As you also said in starting that there should be, I have drawn a straight line and you have to follow it or not, it's your choice. So you have given us, and we have to decide by our own intelligence that we have to follow it or not. So we have to read it and then go on it. Other than that, about the preaching, I was saying that if it doesn't reach the future generation, they will lead an animalistic life. That what Mahārāja said. There should be no other motivation. You should chant seriously and only think about the welfare of the society. That would build our faith. That is the only way we should do bhakti. That is the only way of servicing. Then another point was, Maharaj said in the lecture that where there is good quality in them, there is Krishna. Good doesn't belong to any other sect. Good is always good. So there were many points. I don't think I can like.
Very nice, Mother. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You're very, I can see you're becoming very nice, taking very good interest, All the best to you. Hare Krishna, very intelligent. Hare Krishna. You see, this point about future generations has been emphasized by Maharaj so much in our lives that everything that we do in our Hare Krishna WECAN, most of my time, decision that I'm taking today is based on future need, which is not existing today. Future meaning 10 years hence, 20 years hence, 30 years hence, 40 years hence, when we all are not there. Then we are gone, finished. People won't remember us. Then how the message has to communicate, how the message will go of Prabhupada in the mode of Maharaj. So this is how we should all be very much, and my whole thinking revolves around this only, nothing else. I don't think about today. Our decisions are not based upon today. It's not possible. This is why if I decide about today, decisions to be taken today, it's very simple decisions. Don't think about it. Today, problem solved. But tomorrow, big problem. So we have to take big problems today, solution. So tomorrow becomes easy when we are not there. So we have met Maharaj. All of you have met us. See? And there are so many others who know about Maharaj, so much seniors better than me. So it's a big responsibility in our shoulders. So we have to be very careful to carry on and pass this knowledge in parampara. Rest, everything is also correct. This is also correct, how we pass this knowledge in parampara. Has to be very carefully handled. Yeah. Very nice. All the best. I got reminded of this point. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your nice realizations. And I'm just very overwhelmed at the moment, so I might probably take more time. I've got so many things. It's like a recharge, always when you listen to Srila Gurudev. So takes you to another level of consciousness. So please bear with me. I have written down quite a few points, and then I want to also share how I've experienced a few things myself. So before we started the class, Prabhuji, you mentioned about this instruction from Srila Gurudev about programs must go on. I thought that was very, very important, and it's just a simple instruction like that, but programs must go on, and for the programs to go on, there's so much activity behind that, and so much input and everything. And personally, I feel being in Krishna consciousness for 22 years, trying to be in Krishna consciousness. The programs are going on only because of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada's and Krishna's mercy. And the instruction in there to be sincere, was there in today's lecture as well. So I think that we may do all our efforts, but the programs don't go on because of our efforts. That is my realization. And it's not just a realization from 1 day or 2 days, but conducting programs for so many years. And by that, programs must go on. Our life has gone on in the most beautiful way that it should have gone. Instead of becoming old and thinking, oh, I should have done this when I'm young, or I should have done that, this instruction of Srila Gurudev. So I want to thank you, Prabhuji, because you're the one who's conducted the programs and then engaged us as a family. And this is my opportunity to just say that that instruction to follow that and allowing us also to serve is so important, because all the inabilities of your life just go away. There is no time for anything which is wrong in your life. Nothing wrong happens when you actually just follow this one instruction in your life. So it's very, very important. And we have also seen how the importance of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, always preaching was the most important activity in the devotional service, because we have to reach out to everyone. And we are experiencing Srila Gurudev, whatever Mahārāja is saying, we are experiencing it, that it is reaching to us. It, it tears your heart apart and it stays in your heart, the instruction. And it's not that you listen to the instruction and then it goes away. It stays with you, you contemplate, then you also get the instruction how to implement it in your life, which is the most important thing for me, because Srila Gurudev is known for that, for practically implementing Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So before I go to the points on the realization, so this was one point I thought very important in case. And then the quality of the other point that Prabhuji raised before the class was about the parampara system has potency if there is no mental concoction and if the quality of the message is not compromised. So I feel that for the future generations, but even for our own self, it's so important, because there is so much cheating going on everywhere in the world. It is when I have even talked to my family members or some people who are trying to search the meaning of life. It is very difficult for people to trust and commit at the moment. It is very, very difficult, because there is everywhere you open and it is a can of worms. Everywhere there is something going on wrong. So in that, the purity is there of Srila Prabhupada's message. In spite of everything that can go wrong, Srila Prabhupada's message is there and Srila Gurudev's message is there. And that, I think, is very important. And I feel like for us, if we really want, if we value that, then we should hold that torch also. And we should, I think that was very important as well, that the message should not be compromised. So I am very thankful that at least we are trying, not to dilute that message. The other point, now I'll go to the points from the realization from Srila Gurudev's class. So first of all, if you listen to Srila Gurudev's class, always one thing is there, that you will learn the verse by the end of the class because of the recitation. And it is so nectarian. And I remember that it is, you can listen to the class and you're reciting the verse, but then after that also you can keep reciting it, and in a day you will learn the whole verse. So that has been our experiences for any of the classes that we listen to of Srila Gurudev. The other thing I realized is in the whole class when I was listening, I felt like Srila Gurudev understood Srila Prabhupada so very well. So we all love Srila Prabhupada. There is no question about it. This whole Krishna consciousness movement is given to us by Srila Prabhupada, and we all have that one thing in common, and that is our love for Srila Prabhupada. No matter what is the reason, but we love Srila Prabhupada. But that is there. But not to be sentimental about it, but it is like, I almost felt like there is one expert, Srila Prabhupada, and then there's another expert, Srila Gurudev, and one expert is giving the information about the other expert and how important it is. You know how in our, I don't know, but in our references, like if we come across a good reading or something, then we refer it to our teacher who is an expert. How do you find this? What is your opinion? There is an opinion given by some expert. So I feel like that Srila Gurudev has understood Srila Prabhupada so well. And so I feel there is no difference in the instruction when it comes, you know. It just is so easy to understand Srila Prabhupada because of Srila Gurudev. That is my realization when I listen to Srila Gurudev's classes, because there's sometimes, because of my dumb-headedness, I don't understand everything. And then when this is so nicely, each and every word is nicely dissected and bifurcated. These are the two words that I remember Srila Gurudev had used in Rajkot in one of the classes, that each and every word we have to dissect and bifurcate, and then we have to understand it, and then we have to read it. And it's not so easy to understand the meaning of each and every word, because sometimes Srila Prabhupada will give a different meaning for the same word in a different verse, or even in the same verse. So the meaning that Srila Gurudev says, that Srila Prabhupada gives of each and every word for word-to-word translation is also so appropriate, because Srila Gurudev was an expert in Sanskrit. He was a Sanskrit scholar. He was a Sanskrit teacher. So it makes sense when you read the purport and the reference, and it gives you the taste that you want to read, which I feel like is very hard in today's world, at least for a person like me, to find time and to read. But this inspires one to read. So I'll just quickly try to read through the points that I made. So yes, read and research. Preach means reach. The word reach. So this is also another specialty of Srila Gurudev. The word preach has the word reach, and then Srila Gurudev said prachar means achar, means your behavior. So there was a lot of emphasis on changing our behavior, which I think is very important. Mere reading is of no use. So the research is put to test when we preach. This is also so important, because when you are trying to give your realization, when you're going to say something, what is the meaning of reaching? The other person, everybody is intelligent. When you are saying something, the person understands, what you're saying. They are not foolish. They may not say anything, but they understand. And if you're not giving your realizations by trying to read and research, that can be understood also when somebody is giving the realization. So it's very, very practical. And then, of course, inaction and inaction, the difference is the opposite meaning of it. So Srila Gurudev also emphasized on how Krishna can change, because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can change the repeated cycle of birth and death for us, as we're going to 8.4 million species of life. And if you come to Srila Prabhupada, then you're completely enlightened. And what what it means is when you're doing word-to-word translation or reading which Srila Prabhupada is required and research which Srila Prabhupada is required, and change in our behavior. Again, that point has come about. And then spend time on meditation. And then Srila Gurudev also mentioned that if the language is enriched because of Krishna's touch, then how much we will be enriched by just reading the verses. That was the point. Srila Gurudev has mentioned this also many times, to keep reading the small books. If we don't read, then faith will be weak. And Vedic dress, I think there was emphasis on that, and to wear dhoti and kurta for the children. And importance for the parents. The mother, father are enemies if they don't give Krishna consciousness to their children. And they will make them into royal addition of animals. That is one of the quotes in the diaries. And we should aim for inaction in all our activities, no material fruitive result. So here is a very important point. So for preaching, so there should not be any motivation, but what should be the motivation is only the welfare of society. And I thought that was very important. We should know. However, Srila Gurudev always says that we preach for our own self. So not to be puffed up that we are preaching, because we are not preaching. We are just a medium, via medium. And if that is not the case, then preaching will not be successful. There will be degradation. Inaction will always satisfy us if it's performed for Krishna. So then the reference for Bhagavad Gita was 9 from chapter 3 was given. And in here, there was a point. Now, I want to really say about this, because Srila Gurudev mentioned that, you're not working for the results. And then that influence is there in the office, and then they know. And that sincerity comes from devotion. So when I was working before, I read this realization, not like I'm not talking now. I've heard this realization. I've heard this instruction before from Srila Gurudev that, you should not separate your material work. Even material work, you should be very sincere. You should do it as if everything is dependent on you, and then you should leave the result as if nothing is dependent on you. So when I heard that, before that, I was differentiating, oh, this is my spiritual work, this is my material work, like that. But when I read this instruction, it actually opened my eyes, and I thought, okay, I should not be differentiating, and I shouldn't be saying, oh, I don't want to focus so much about my material activity or work that I have to do. And when I started to try to implement this instruction, it completely changed my professional career. I can tell you this. I'm a living example of that. It took it to another level, and definitely people appreciate if you work sincerely. Everything just falls into place. Not only your material activities, but also your spiritual activities, which you have to do, sometimes balancing your material activities. So this is, I think, a very, very important instruction for anybody who is going to start work or who is working, that sincerity in your work, even in your material work, is very, very important. And then there were some calls that were coming in between, and Srila Gurudev was receiving the calls. Now, Srila Gurudev was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class, such an important class. We would always, if I was even talking to someone and something, probably see on the phone who is calling. I remember this, Srila Gurudev saying this, that when somebody calls, that person is taking so much effort to call you. Don't see who is calling you. Just pick up the phone. Why do you want to see who is calling you? So I felt like that when I heard that, I thought, yeah, that's right. And sometimes, but Srila Gurudev is actually doing that. I mean, picking up the phone in the middle and it's not like, hello, who is it, and gone. No, it was really trying to make an effort to understand who is there on the other side, and not, yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, you can see the implementation. And then Srila Gurudev was giving example of how the value of the property and everything, around Rajkot, and this was increasing. And this is about dependence on Krishna, how the dependence on Krishna factor was there. That Sudama, he said, I will not beg, when he went to meet Krishna. And then Srila Gurudev was kind of saying that is what Srila Gurudev also did in his life. So, and the more we study, then more we'll be ready for preaching. And it's very important to give practical instructions, not only story, how you will behave, that will help reach. Now, the second point, again, retaliation is our natural tendency. How to stop that, how to explain, not retaliation is best retaliation, how to convince the people. So when that question was asked, I was also thinking how to convince. But in our lives, I mean, I just want to say, like when I was young at that time, also I remember that there was a little, like in school, there was some incidents of some kind of, people just trying to not really bully, but try to bully or whatever. And at that time, I had felt that the best thing to do is just to ignore. And there were a lot of things that were happening in the background behind my back, and I had even not realized. But then one of my friends had mentioned this to me that, oh, this is all happening. I said, wow, I don't even know about all this. This is like when I was 12 years or something old. So, but I had heard this from my grandparents that, best is to just ignore. That is the best way to react. And so I tried that, and it worked, because all the people who were doing everything in the background, they were spending so much energy, everything. And then finally, because I was ignoring, this stopped. So this is same thing in our spiritual lives. There was a time when I thought I had every opportunity to speak or say or whatever, but Srila Gurudev's always instruction was no retaliation. And why? Because you have to see Krishna's hand in everything. And it was something that has stayed very, very importantly in my life personally as well, that if we try to take charge of things, then we keep taking charge of things and it doesn't work out. But if we don't, then Krishna can take charge. Then we can allow Krishna to take charge. So that was that instruction. I think I've got a lot of other points, but I'm going to just... and the main reason why that happens is because why we don't see Krishna's hand is because there is separatism. That's why there is retaliation. I think I'll stop here.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Gurudev ki jai. A lot of realizations. Hare Krishna. Okay, please want to hear more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Punya Pragna Mataji, that you spoke from your heart. I loved it. You have you covered all the points. I missed the initial beginning and you reminded everything. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu, for all the hard work. I've seen you working so hard all my life of Krishna consciousness. And thank you, Krishna Prabhu. I don't know, yeah. And thank you, dear devotees, for sharing your relation. And thank you to His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj and his Vyas Puja that we are getting this opportunity to speak and share and progress and implement and practice and whatnot. So I think all the points have been very nicely emphasized by the devotees. And Mataji covered almost the entire lecture in a way so that people like me can understand. And I've seen everything through my eyes happening what Mataji just spoke. And I have met Maharaj 2-3 times. Very not a lot. But I know Amrish Prabhu and Mataji have met Maharaj since 2002 or 2003, unless Maharaj left body for 8-9 years. So they really understand Maharaj's mood. That's for sure, not me. And that gives me confidence when I was starting journey in Krishna consciousness that how do I choose my path? Where do I go? And now I give classes. Okay. That's people, and Amrish will glorify and Mataji will glorify and all those things. But to see that these devotees are speaking and repeating Maharaj instruction and they are connecting with Maharaj, that Maharaj will give instructions and they can practice those things. And that's real satisfaction. And that's devotional activity. That what if we can repeat Maharaj's message, that's the thing. Maharaj was, as we all know, Maharaj is walking Bhagavatam. Everything, whatever he does is Bhagavatam. And depending upon our mood, we take instruction from Maharaj. I've seen other disciples of Maharaj, nothing to demean anyone, that how they have understood Maharaj instruction, how they have repracticed that Maharaj instructions. Everybody has, I don't know if I should say it or not, but we get into understanding Maharaj instruction the way we want to understand. And Bhagavatam starts with first word of illusion. All great sages, all big demigods, they all get confused. That's Bhagavatam. So getting that Maharaj's mood and getting that connection with Prabhupada and getting that understanding and then practicing this is not easy. It's not easy. And it throws everything, whatever challenges we can imagine. So it's good to see that devotees are following Maharaj through Amrish Prabhu. And my take from this class, special class on this special festive season. Yesterday we also had a festive day. Is that we understand how to preach and all those things. Yeah? The human form is very rare. How do we utilize that human form? Is that what we have a choice to make? And that's where Mahārāja stands out from so many. I've read, I've studied, before I got into this. So human form is very rare. We choose preaching to be as our devotional service so that it improves us, not someone else. It's more for us than anybody else. So, and then Maharaj simplifies that Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and all those scriptures so even anybody can understand who is attentive. And Maharaj will detail it and convert into the practical example. That how do you, that big instruction you actually convert into, how do you actually implement it? And the same discussion we're having, why we got a human form, what is the purpose of human life in previous parents class. And I said, I understood only when Maharaj left body. I remember Amrish was there and he called me, and before that I was up in the air somewhere. Still I'm up in the air. And that's where I heard, and then Amrish shared some very important words. Said, well, don't share with anyone else. Okay, I will not share with anyone else. That how a devotee should leave body, how a yogi should leave body. And that's what I was discussing in previous class, but I said I'm not going to share unless you make it the most important thing in your life. So that's Mahārāja's mood. And that's what attracted me. That's what keep me going. And that becomes purpose of my life. Nothing else to do. Whatever happens, happens. So and please bless me so that I can keep doing this thing. And yes, that's it. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rashabuji. Very nice. You're doing very good service to Guru Maharaj. All the best. Hare Krishna to you and Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you, Amrish Guruji. Thank you, Purnapaja Mataji. Thank you, Krishna Sattva, Krishna Prabhu, for sharing this wonderful lecture of Maharaj. Thank you, devotees, for sharing such a nice realization. The points which I have noted is I was relating each and every point with the quotes which I was sharing in the group. And I've noted after every point I've noted whatever quotes I do remember. So this was a revision class for me. The first point which I noted is preaching is reaching. Maharaj mentioned that you are reaching many living entities, but before you preach, you should read. And reading with Prabhupada, researching with Prabhupada, and then you can change your behavior. Don't just preach, but don't just reach, but before preaching, you should reach. The more we study, the more you are ready to do the preaching. And I can relate this, the example which Prabhupada Maharaj also mentioned, that you should preach young people, and researching and preaching. And there was one of the quote which was mentioned by Maharaj was, those who do not keep the wealth for their children are more straightforward, and real wealth is Krishna consciousness. So this was a quote I mentioned some days ago in my family group, and this was mentioned in today's class, so I just noted it down. And there was one more thing which Maharaj mentioned, that devotees are not shrikas. Devotees are sincere workers and not shrikas. And also Maharaj mentioned that the leaf will also not move without Krishna's permission. So nothing is in our hands and everything is in Krishna's hand. This was a quote mentioned by Maharaj. And then retaliation. Maharaj mentioned about retaliation, and there was one of the quote which I remember, that no retaliation, and the sincerity also, which Sheetal Prabhu also mentioned, that there should be sincerity in devotional service. So there was Maharaj quote also, that no retaliation is the main quality of the sincere devotional service. There was many points mentioned that you should keep your eyes open to see Krishna's energy everywhere. And then wherever there is some good point is there, Krishna is there. God is not sectarian. God is always good. Good is transcendental, and it is all coming from Krishna. And then there was one also point, if everywhere Lord Krishna is, then where is retaliation? And also I remember the point which Amrish Prabhu just mentioned, that you don't bite, just show your teeth. And the fire should come from your fire should not come from your fire should come from when you steer, that you should not bite, but just whenever there is a situation, you should bite also. So I do remember, I can relate all those points, and I can create a chart. And there one was about preaching and reaching. There the second one was about sincerity in the devotional service, and the third one was wherever there is Krishna, there is good qualities. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class of Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, very nice. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So Avinash Krishna Prabhu, this is from the quotes that we had put on the website, which you mentioned, right?
Yes,
So
she
where
posted.
does Mataji, she sends every day? Mataji sends every day this quotes?
Yeah, she used
or
yeah, she
regularly?
used to send every day, but I said don't send every day, send every alternate day now. So all
So
those we
where
take
is
it from the sorry?
where is it sent?
It is sent to, we call it our learners group, as I told you. All those new
Beginners.
people, learners, they are not even beginners. We also have created a beginners group, which are serious who are attending classes.
Okay.
So there
Very
is
nice.
where everybody is there, family member and all those. So that's where, and then we have got a Hindi group. We have got other group where I think 4 or 5 places she's sending now. And she's very busy, so I said you send it regularly, but every alternate is also, don't try to send. Yeah. So we get it from the website and we send it.
That's very nice. Because I was thinking about it for a long time, and I was meant to communicate, So why, if it is okay with you and her, then maybe she can send it on a beginners program, a beginners level.
Why not, bro? Yes, that's okay, bro.
Yeah, she can just, whenever you're sending others, you can send here, We restrict to what we've sent, and there are more and more coming up also, which you can keep adding, in your list if you want to. Because I've just kept the posters in the website. Nowadays, I make text and the photo. Those are not in the website. Those are in a page that I manage of Mahārāja. So if you are, I think you are in the page. Are you there in the page? But anyway, what I'm going to say is this: that if you're whatever you're posting, would you mind, Avinash Abu, if you both of you
Yes.
agree, just
Yes,
add
that's
the
okay, brother.
beginners group, So we're all head office beginners group also, that can go
Yeah.
to those places.
Yes, that's okay, bro. Because all our beginners are in learners group anyway, so they will get the message twice. Thank you, bro. Yes, she can do it.
That's good. So it's in English, right? It's in English, this thing. So what do? The poster is there. You write down the poster, send the poster, or you write down also something else.
Srushti, can you explain what you do?
Yes, I download that poster and I share in all the groups, and I also translate it to Hindi, and then I send it in the Hindi groups. The same image.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So if you can just download the poster, it is not good enough for us here, That's fine. So devotees can get used to Maharaj, on this. Yeah. That's very nice. I was thinking about introducing them in the intermediate, but I think now the time has come that from beginner itself, let them introduce the Maharaj, to the mode of Maharaj. They can know it better. And as you're doing it nicely, all of you can, add to your thing also. That's very nice. We can integrate this. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna to both of you. Yes, who would like to go next? Hare Krishna. And start immediately, Don't delay this. Don't ask me. Just start it. Yeah, in the beginner's group. Yeah. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are we done? No more realizations from the class?
Hare Krishna Babuji. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pragya Devidasa Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Prabhu for showing us this wonderful class from Guru Maharaj. And it's always very, very, very nectarian and nice to hear from Guru Maharaj class. And I agree 100% with His Grace Avinash Prabhu for telling that you have imbibed the Guru Maharaj's mood. It's very, very, it's 100% correct, Prabhuji. And by listening Guru Maharaj's lecture, we can understand actually what we have learned from you, and you trained us nicely in the mood of Guru Maharaj. So, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Yes, Prabhuji, it's a lot of points, and thank you very much all the for all the devotees for their realizations, and they're very nectarian, and Mataji has summarized the whole lecture, and very nice realization about the way you conducted and how we carry our life on the instructions of Guru Maharaj, then whole the other, we don't have time for other things. We don't have time for thinking about those problems. And that's what actually Guru Maharaj explained here. In action, in action, we follow inaction, So this is Guru Maharaj saying that when we perform, our actions, so inaction means that no material gain in our actions. When we perform for Krishna, this is inaction, not for our sense gratification, no other motivation. So material motivation is degradation, Guru Maharaj saying. So all actions we should show in action. So that is the first point that I was meditating upon. And there was another point that Maharaj saying that whatever we tell, it should be convincing to others. So when we, the point here, a lot of devotees also share that preaching is reaching. So when we doing preaching, or we telling, or means giving classes, or it should be convincing. So how I was thinking how it should be convincing. It's convincing because when we follow ourselves and those things we have realized, or we have put into practice in our behavior, in our life have changed, and that's what it will be convincing to others. So and the third point was that wherever the good is always good. Maharaj saying the good is always good. The good is Krishna. It's not sectarian. And the good example Maharaj saying there about the bad habits they have, eating, gambling, alcohol, womanizing, all the bad things are happening here. But the good thing they have very sincere workers, No, maybe not all of them, but that's the majority. So that's the good quality, and we should appreciate wherever the good quality is, because good comes from Krishna. So many other points as well, probably because I wasn't very so it's very good to hear Guru Maharaj's lecture and realize the points, and in different all the devotees shared their realization. Thank you very much, and I learn a lot from those realizations. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, for showing this lecture.
Yeah, thank you. Srila Gurudev ki jai. It's all your sincerity. My blessings are on all of us, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for showing us such a important lecture today. It was a bit hard to understand sometimes, but it was understandable apart from that most of the time. Thank you, all the devotees, for your very nice realizations. It was really, I made some points, but the few points which is, it's already been shared, but I would like to share in my way that how Srila Gurudev said the sincerity comes with the devotion. And after that, it just doesn't stop there. If we are reading, we have to research by our own. We have to research in our own, like with ourselves, because with the research we'll get the knowledge. Knowledge gives us the faith, and with the faith we are able to preach. And with the preaching, we'll get the prachar comes from achar comes from prachar. We'll get the good etiquettes, the acharan, and which shows that which is very much required in today's special generation, that to spread the Krishna consciousness. So yes, I just really like how Srila Gurudev step by step explain this thing that we know already, but that how it just gives us enthusiasm that how we need to do the study, how we can progress through the knowledge in this path. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. Gurudev ki jai. Is everybody done now? The time is a little late. So if you want to, please jump in. Thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna. It looks like we have come to the conclusion. So whose turn is it to sing Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us today?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's my turn, Prabhuji.
And who's you, Prabhuji? आपका नाम क्या है जी?
My name is Madhav.
मेरा नाम माधव है. माधव जी है. अरे वाह, कितना अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलकर माधव जी. कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है?
मैं ठीक हूँ, प्रभुजी.
बहुत अच्छे, बहुत अच्छे. आपकी बहन ठीक है?
मैं ठीक हूँ, प्रभुजी. आप कैसे हैं,
अरे मैंने उसको
प्रभुजी?
पूछा, आपको नहीं. आपको मालूम है हिंदी, उसको मालूम नहीं है हिंदी, इसलिए मैंने उसको पूछा. उसको आंसर करने दो. आपकी बहन ठीक है जी, माधव जी?
हाँ, प्रभुजी.
आपकी दीदी, क्या बुलाते हैं आप उसको? उनको क्या बुलाते हैं आप?
मेरी दीदी अच्छी है.
मेरी दीदी अच्छी है. अरे वाह, आप उसको क्या बुलाते हैं? दीदी बुलाते हैं या शुभदा बुलाते हैं या शुभ बुलाते हैं या शुभी बुलाते हैं? अच्छा, सचमुच दीदी बुलाते हो आप? सचमुच? अच्छा, शुभदा, he calls you दीदी?
Yes, प्रभुजी.
ना, tell me the truth, सच बोलिए.
He does call me दीदी.
He calls you दीदी. अरे वाह वाह, क्या बात है माधव जी. बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा, बहुत बढ़िया. कीप इट अप, कीप इट अप. ठीक है ना? अच्छा, अभी अच्छी तरह से एक्शन करके बोलना, ठीक है? सिर्फ महाराज सब बच्चों के साथ इंग्लिश में बात करते थे गुजरात में, उनको इंग्लिश पढ़ाने के लिए. अगर आप लोग सब अंग्रेज हो, मैं आपको हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ आप लोगों के साथ, ताकि हिंदी जान सके आप, हिंदी मराठी. ठीक है ना? चलिए, बहुत बढ़िया, एक्शन कीजिएगा. ओके, 1 2 3 शुरू कीजिए.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us. Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff. We have learned some real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. And today for you we will sing. And today for you we will sing. If our room is clean, if our room is clean, then our mind is clean, then our mind is clean. If our mind is clean, if our mind is clean, we can do anything, we can do anything. If our room is dirty, if our room is dirty, then so are we, then so are we. And if we are dirty, and if we are dirty, we're not happy, we are not happy. Wasting time, wasting time is the greatest crime, is the greatest crime. Because wasted time means a wasted mind, means a wasted mind. So best is your time, so best use your time when you're in your prime, when you're in your prime. And your whole life, and your whole life will be sublime, will be sublime. If your wealth is gone, if your wealth is gone, then there is nothing wrong, then there is nothing wrong. But if your health is gone, but if your health is gone, that's a different song, that's a different song. If your character dies, if your character dies, then the world will cry, then the world will cry. Only saintly behavior, only saintly behavior, lets humanity thrive, lets humanity thrive. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You must always remember Krishna. But always remember Krishna and never forget him too. And never forget him too. But how are we to practice if there's so many things to do? But how are we to practice this if so many things to do? That is the greatest question. That is the greatest question. And here's the greatest clue. And here's the greatest clue. You must learn to love so nicely that Krishna remembers you. You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you. So listen very closely. So listen very closely. And make your thinking sharp. And make your thinking sharp. Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart. Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart. If something's due tomorrow, if something's due tomorrow, finish it today. Finish it today. Whatever's due today, whatever's due today, do it now, don't delay. Do it now, don't delay. Your friends might be lazy. Your friends might be lazy. Or doing bad things. Or doing bad things. But you think again. But you think again. Don't follow them. Don't follow them. And you'll win in the end. And you will win in the end. Whatever work we're given. Whatever work we're given. We do our very best. We do our very best. We only live it what we need and give Krishna the rest. We only live it what we need and give Krishna the rest. This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day. This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day. And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance to him with a heart full of love. And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love. To chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame is the only way this world will ever be consumed. To chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame It's only way this world will ever be content. Now please ask this greatest question. Please ask this greatest question. And find this greatest clue. And find this greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna. You can only remember Krishna. If Krishna remembers you. If Krishna remembers you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Surendra Shri Mahavishnu Goswami Mahārāja Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jagat Guru, His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namo Saraswati Devi Gaumani Kuchayana Nivisheshwari. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, this is the starting of our festive season of Vyas Puja Day. We are from yesterday onwards. So, in India, please celebrate on Saturday. Other parts in New Zealand and probably in Australia also will be celebrating on Sunday. So, we're doing it online. Okay. Please observe how they fast, observe Mangalarti, and remember Guru Maharaj, read something, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but don't jump, do step by step. So, Krishna willing, we'll see you next week, same place, same time, and we will have homages program. All of us will read our homages. I have not read anyone's homages. I don't read many homages. So, it's up to you. You can read your homages. And Krishna willing, we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare